Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are decluttering eyeshadow palettes. I'm a little scared. Well, I've never filmed any declutters, period. But also I've never done like a eyeshadow palette declutter because I love palettes so much. I have way too many. So this is actually gonna be, it has to be 2 parts. Like I just know by looking at this that this is gonna be 2 parts. So this is part 1, welcome. We will see how well we do. Listen, I said this in another episode, I'm gonna say it again. I love makeup so much. It's what I spend all of my money on. And eyeshadow palettes especially are like so inspiring. Like how can you not want to keep every single eyeshadow palette? Anyway, I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna be honest with myself, but in being honest with myself, I might keep a lot more than some of you might keep, okay? Disclaimer, this is not a minimalist declutter, but I'm gonna do my best, okay? Because I don't need all of these, but I enjoy them. So we're gonna go down memory lane. There's gonna be some in here that bring back a lot of memories for us, okay? Let's get into it. I'm really excited. All right, we're gonna start with a bin that I have had kind of sitting on the side because I've been going through my beauty room for a while now, but I knew I wanted to film declutters. So anyways, some of these palettes are brand new to me. Some of them I actually took off of my filming desk, so I know I'm gonna keep them. We're gonna start off with one of my newest favorite palettes, and it's actually what I'm wearing right now, the Natasha Denona Retro Glam. I love Natasha Denona palettes. This one is so pretty. Oh, I love it so much, and I just love like the greens. Anyway, we're keeping this. I'm also 1000% keeping this one right here, the Noblesse Side by Side palette. It's one of the best neutral palettes out there. I love it so much, so I'm definitely keeping it. I love it. Also definitely keeping the Natasha Denona Dream palette. This is beautiful. This is newer to my collection, and I just love it. I think it's so pretty. The tones in here are very inspiring. The finishes, you guys know how much I've been enjoying this. I also recently purchased the Nabla Raid My Mind palette, which I will also be keeping. I love this one too. I feel like this is going to be the majority of these palettes. Well, we'll get into like some archivey ones too, which I feel like I already started when I was cleaning out my beauty room before. I started a pile called like archive of products that I don't want to like throw away because maybe they're limited edition, or maybe I like the packaging, or maybe there's a really special like memory attached to them. So even though they won't be in my like active collection, I still have, you know, a bin for archive makeup of just like, let's, you know, not put it in the drawer because I'm not going to use it anymore, but I can't throw it away kind of thing. Like, I don't know. I love makeup so much, you guys know, obviously. This is going to be another palette that I keep, the new Rose Metals eyeshadow palette from Anastasia. Absolutely insanely incredible. Oh my goodness. Like, are you kidding me? It's stunning. It's absolutely amazing. I love this one 100%. Also, definitely keeping the Natasha Denona Glam palette. This is a favorite among many. This is one that I know a lot of you guys have tried and really love, so, and for a good reason, honestly, because it's really amazing. It's great for every day, and I've used this on so many brides. I'm not a freelance makeup artist. I only do makeup on like family and friends, but I've used that palette on multiple brides. It's so pretty. Here's an example of a palette that's kind of one that should be going in the archives, but I am going to keep it in my drawer for a bit longer because it's so good. This is the Tati Beauty Volume 1 Textured Neutrals eyeshadow palette. Amazing. If you guys watched my Top 10 According to You series, you'll know that this is the #1 eyeshadow palette according to you, and it's so sad that you can't get this anymore because it's so incredible, especially the glitters, but I'm keeping it. I love it. I definitely collect higher end eyeshadow palettes. So you'll see, like, I buy a lot of Pat McGrath palettes, and then I get sent Natasha Denona palettes in PR. So I do enjoy collecting those, keeping them around. This is one that I think is limited edition, actually, the Circo Loco palette. Really, really fun color story here. This is not one that, like, you know, I use all the time, but again, I love to keep. So pretty. I'm gonna keep this one. We're not doing very well with the palettes that we're not gonna keep yet, but we'll get to those bins soon enough. Here's an example of a Pat McGrath palette that I love so much. These are some of her mega palettes. She always launches these during the holidays, and I have been collecting them every year. So this is from a past year. This is actually from the most recent holiday. It's beautiful, so I'm gonna be keeping this one as well. I always buy these. I don't know. I just really like the mega palette every year. I feel like I have one more. Oh yeah, I do. This one right here. This is another holiday palette from a past year. This one's beautiful too. keeping all three. Here are my Pat McGrath palettes that I have slowly but surely been collecting and loving. So I've got the Divine Rose palette. I actually keep all of these in their boxes because I'm just like that. I really like to keep them all packaged up, even though I do dip into them and use them quite a bit. I just love how the packaging looks. So I've got my Divine Rose palette, which is so pretty. You know, I wasn't going to open them and show you, but that's kind of the point of this video, right? I should show you them because they're so stunning. The Divine Rose palette, so pretty. Lots of duochrome rosy tones in this one. Utopian Dream is so fun. Here's what that one looks like. Very like iridescent, really pretty. I love that one. This is the Mothership 5 Bronze Seduction. This one's one of my favorites, honestly. It's so good. I love the color story of this one and the different like duochromes and like metallics, the sparkly finishes in here. It's gorgeous. I love this one. And then I have this one right here, the Midnight Sun palette. This is one of my more recent palettes. I did just buy another one, which I have on my desk, which I'm gonna have my husband come get because I'm in my 3rd trimester and I just can't be bothered to stand up right now. It's like a lot of effort to get up off of the floor, so.
Hi, sweetie.
Hello, sir. Can you grab me the Pat McGrath palette that's on my desk? Thank you. Thank you so much. So here's Midnight Sun. This is beautiful. This one's more of like a sultry palette, but again, love it. And then here's my most recent Pat McGrath purchase. This one's so fun. This is the Moonlit Seduction palette. The boxes are incredible. Like, I can't throw the boxes away. That's why I keep them all in their packaging still. But this one, oh, this is delicious. I love this one. It's got like mauve tones and very iridescent sparkles, rosy like mattes in here too. So pretty. So yeah, I mean, this is more of like a show and tell video. This part 1. Hopefully in part 2 we'll be able to have a little more clarity on like how much progress we make with an actual declutter, but we're doing a show and tell for now. Oh my gosh, the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette, you guys. I use this all the time. It's been so long. I actually don't know if she makes this anymore, but I'm keeping it. I love this palette. The color story is beautiful and the packaging, I don't know. Good memories attached to this one as well. Good memories attached to this too. The Natasha Denona Gold palette, my favorite. Like, this just really is something else. I love this one. This was my favorite palette for a long time. I need to dip into this again. I don't remember if this is one that she discontinued or not, or what. Regardless, I'm keeping it because I love it to death. It's amazing. Here's a newer palette to me. I actually do really like this. This is the collaboration from Jacqueline and her mom from Jacqueline Cosmetics. Really nice neutral palette. A lot of cool tones in here, which I like. Well, actually, there's like a lot of neutrals and warm tones too. It's just kind of a good mix of everything. So I am going to keep that one as well. I like to display a lot of my Natasha Denona palettes and my Pat McGrath as well. So whenever we get around to filming a tour, so I don't know if I've explained that really, but my plan is to go through, you know, all the drawers, do a declutter series, and then I will be showing you guys a tour of my beauty room. And I do have to like redecorate. I kind of just gutted everything because I really wanted a fresh start in here as far as what I had displayed and like in decorations. So I'm going to redo all that and then I'll give you guys like a tour at the end. Natasha Denona Trio Chrome palette. This is a fun one. This is definitely one that's like, again, not an everyday palette, but I did receive it in PR and I really do enjoy the trio chromes in here. It's a really interesting setup, the way that each row kind of creates a look. So keeping it. Here's something fun, my Z palette. I couldn't even tell you what's in here. This is definitely an older mix of things. ColourPop, I think some Makeup Geek in here. This is a good example of like an archivable type of a thing. I'm gonna keep it, but probably doesn't need to be in my drawers because I'm not actively using it. So I'm gonna put this in my archive section. This is a newer palette to me, kind of, right? Yeah, the Kendall and Kylie matte palette. Really pretty. I've only used it a couple times, mostly because I forgot about it, because these palettes truly, like, I can't see them all. So it's hard for me to remember what I have and what I don't, but I am going to keep it because it's new and I think it's cute. These are also kind of like pro palettes from NARS, all their single shadows. Again, not something that I necessarily need to have in my drawers taking up space. I'm gonna keep like an area for palettes like this that I don't use in videos, but might use just in my personal life or wanna keep or wanna use on other people or whatever. So I'm gonna just set those aside. The Too Faced Better Than Chocolate palette smells really good. This is a newer palette to me. We'll use it like once or twice, but I still wanna keep it. I don't think I've gotten rid of one palette, you guys, so far. I told you this is not for a minimalist, so hopefully people aren't like upset at me for not decluttering a lot. But These truly are the palettes that I know I'm keeping in this first bin, so it's genuinely like a show and tell. I'm gonna keep this one as well, the Anastasia Nouveau palette. Really, really beautiful. Love the packaging on that one too. Love the Natasha Denona pastel palette. So fun, so beautiful for spring. I'm keeping all my Natasha Denona palettes, just so you know ahead of time. The Natasha Denona Safari palette. Oh my gosh, a gorgeous matte palette. I'm obsessed with these colors in here, so we're keeping it. The Natasha Denona Glam Face Palettes. This is actually the deeper one. I actually haven't dipped into this yet. I don't know if I should keep it in eyeshadow palettes or if it's like more of a face palette. So I'm going to set this aside. I'm keeping it, but I don't think it belongs in eyeshadow palettes really. I'm also going to keep the Natasha Denona Zendo and Natasha Denona Bronze. Guys, I have to, okay? I have to. Okay, the Too Faced. Oh, the Too Faced Peach Palette, you guys. It's probably time for me to repurchase this if I want to use it again. So I'm going to actually put this in the archives because this has so many good memories attached to it. This is one of the first high-end palettes that my husband bought me when it was for my birthday. When I started my channel and it was like all the rage and I used the crap out of it. It's so beautiful. Still one of my favorite color stories, but definitely expired at this point. So I'm gonna put this in the archive section, but so many amazing memories attached to this palette. I love it. See, these are all palettes that I need to open up and store and maybe display. These are all Dose of Colors palettes. These are all brand new. I really do love the Dose of Colors eyeshadow palettes, especially Sassy Siennas, Baked Browns, and Marvelous Mauves. Those are like my favorites. So I'm gonna keep them, but they're not really opened yet. So I might use those to like decorate, we'll see. Oh, I love this little bitty palette from Natasha Denona, the Mini Retro. It's so good. I love this one. I'm gonna keep it. I'm also gonna keep the Jaclyn Cosmetics Strawberry Feels palette because it's newer to me from this year. I also love to keep and display actually the Nabla glitter palettes. These are so pretty. These are amazing pressed glitter palettes. If you are into glitter, these are really great. You don't even need like a glitter glue with this. You just kind of tap them on top of the eyes and they're stunning. I'm also going to keep this mini star palette from Natasha Denona. Oh, this palette is limited edition. You can't get it anymore, but I'm keeping it still. And it's not going in archives either because it's just phenomenal. This is from last year actually. The NARS Climax eyeshadow palette. One of the best eyeshadow palettes they've ever made. I hope they bring this back and make it permanent. That would be a dream come true for me personally. I love it. I'm obsessed. It's so beautiful, especially for fall. It was like everything. I'm definitely going to keep my Charlotte Tilbury palettes. This is the Stars in Your Eyes palette. Some of these are limited edition. Some of them you can still get. Not sure which is which, but this is the Instant Eye palette from her as well. I actually haven't used this one yet. So pretty. I just love Charlotte Tilbury everything. Like I feel like I collect and love to display Charlotte Tilbury palettes. This is the Flawless Eye Filter palette, which I also haven't used. I need to use that. The Luxury Palette of Pops. This one's really fun. It's just a bunch of sparkly topper shades. And then I've got the Dolce Vita palette, which is like a classic one. So I'm keeping all those. And then I'm also going to keep this. This is brand new to me. The Ethereal Eyes palette from Makeup by Mario. Stunning. This one's gonna be on my desk. It was on my desk already, but it's going back. Okay, so we made it through the whole first bin and we didn't get rid of one palette. Great. We're moving into a bin that has a lot more like limited edition palettes, things that I think I will be able to part with. Keyword is think. Oh my goodness, I forgot about this. Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette. I don't even remember the last time I've used this. I think this is probably expired by now. I'm gonna put it in the go pile, but I want to revisit this. Because if they still make this, wouldn't that be fun to try again? But I genuinely forgot about it. It makes me kind of sad actually. The Laura Lee Candy Skies eyeshadow palette. This was a limited edition collab with Erin Weaver. It's so pretty. I'm gonna keep this even though you can't get it anymore because I love pastels. Guys, look at this Moroccan Spice palette from Fenty. Oh my gosh. This has good memories attached to it because it was one of the first things that Fenty ever sent me in PR whenever this launched. It was a huge deal to get Fenty PR, you know, for me. Really good memories attached to it, but honestly, I don't use it at all. I really didn't use it back when I got it either. So I am going to declutter this one, but so fun seeing that again. So many good memories attached to the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea palettes. These had me in a chokehold for a minute there. I loved the mattes. I used this all the time on my channel. So good memories attached for sure, but I definitely don't need to keep it. So I'll be getting rid of that. Guys, see, I told you we're getting somewhere. I'm getting rid of a few. This is a Juvia's Place palette, which technically should be in my drugstore section. So I'm going to move it over there, but I will keep it because it's really fun and colorful. Moving to the drugstore. The Il Makiage Kathleen Lights palette, hands down keeping. So good. I love the textures in here. I love the palette, so I'm keeping it. Patrick Ta palette. This one's kind of a sad palette because this shade completely cracked and got everywhere. It fell out of the palette fully. So I technically need to like replace this palette, but I'll get to it when I get to it. I'm still gonna keep it so I can use the other shades though. The Mario Master Metals palette. Really pretty. When I got this in the mail though, this was sent to me in PR. I think there was like a scraping tool that was supposed to be in here that I totally accidentally threw away. Anyway, so you can like use a mixing medium with this one and like scrape a little bit out in this palette and then put like the mixing medium in and it's supposed to turn it into like this molten metallic situation. Haven't tried that yet because I don't have the tool, but whatever, it's fine. Guys, the Modern Renaissance, Anastasia, Beverly Hills. So many good memories attached. This is definitely going in the archives because I really should not be using this anymore. It's very expired. But I'm not getting rid of it either because it has such just fond memories of the beginning of my channel, the beginning of like my YouTube career, and like that just the best era on YouTube, I feel like, so far. So keeping it, but doesn't need to be in my drawer anymore. Oh my gosh. Anastasia's, oop, there goes the protector. The Sultry palette. Wow, this one, like, I feel like this one was really pretty. I actually didn't get as much use out of this as I would have liked to. And it's definitely old now to where I don't need to keep it around. So I'm gonna be decluttering this one, but really fun seeing it again. Plus the packaging is so pretty. The Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. Believe it or not, this is actually a new palette to me. I bought it just like a month ago for a video that I filmed, even though it's like such an old palette. So I am gonna keep it, even though a lot of you guys that used to use this probably don't anymore because it's been around for so many years. I'm still gonna keep it in my collection since I just bought it. These palettes are so pretty from Alamar Cosmetics. I just honestly haven't used them in so long. I'm gonna declutter these. I want to repurchase because I know she reformulated the blush palettes, which I'm obsessed with. Her lip products and her blush products I use a ton, but this one, I really don't use it, even though I did when I first got it. It's so pretty, but I'm gonna get rid of that one. Whoa, here's a trip down memory lane. The Urban Decay Beached eyeshadow palette. So cool. It's really pretty, but I don't need to keep it anymore. Oh, but it's so pretty. But I won't use it, so I'm gonna get rid of this one. The Laura Lee Nudie Patootie palette. This one's a really, really fun one. I'm gonna keep this one, but I actually love this one even more, the Nudie number 2 palette from Laura Lee. So good. This color story is insane and it's just such flattering colors. I love it. I'm also going to be keeping the Sigma Enchanted palette. I love the tones in here. It's very inspiring to me. I am 1000% keeping the Persona Cosmetics Identity palette. This is an amazing everyday palette. One of the best out there, I feel like. So good. I'm also going to keep the BK Beauty eyeshadow palette. This is their True Beauty palette. We're keeping that one. Oh wow, this one's pretty. This is from an old holiday collection from NARS. Really gorgeous, but I'm not going to use it anymore, you know, because you can't get it. So I will be decluttering that one. Sigma Coeur de Rosa palette. I haven't used this in so long. I honestly forgot about it, which means I should probably declutter it, but oh, I'm on the fence, which means I'm not gonna like be too fussy, so I kept it. Okay. Another Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Volume 2 palette. Gorgeous cool tones. I honestly feel like I would really enjoy this now. I feel like I was into more warm tones a couple of years ago. This is definitely more cool toned. Definitely expired as well, so I'm gonna get rid of this one, but it's pretty. The Nabla Cutie palette. Listen, I love Nabla palettes. This is the Metropolitan. This one, like, I have a hard time creating a full look with this, but I do love to mix and match these, so I'm gonna keep it anyway, even though like it's not really my favorite palette on its own. I've got Charlotte Tilbury products in boxes. Why? What's this? Have I not used it? No. I haven't used this one either. The Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Eye Filter. I honestly don't even know if this is limited edition or what, but I'm gonna keep it because I haven't used it. Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk palette. Iconic. Love it. Keeping it. The Gen Nude Rose eyeshadow palette from Bare Minerals. Really pretty. I actually do love these tones, but I feel like they have since changed these. I don't feel like they have them anymore, and I haven't used it in so long, so I'm gonna get rid of that one. I've got some KKW Beauty palettes that I love so much. She doesn't have her brand anymore, but I'm not gonna get rid of these until I know I can repurchase them. Hopefully she brings them back. I know she's bringing back her brand and they're working on new formulas and stuff. I just wonder like if some of the palettes are going to be permanent or if it's like going to be a whole new brand entirely. I don't know. This is the Crystallized palette, by the way, and I'm keeping it. Oh, this is not even a eyeshadow palette. This is a NARS face palette, so we didn't need to worry about that one. At least not today. Oh my gosh, you guys. Anastasia's Prism palette. Wow, we are truly going down memory lane with this one. Oh my gosh, I really didn't get tons of use out of this. I feel like I wasn't into these types of colors when this came out. I was just barely starting my channel, and so I stuck to the basics. I still do stick to the basics. Like, I like my plain eyeshadow palettes, like my just everyday ones, but this is a fun one. I'm not keeping it. This is gonna definitely be decluttered, but how fun is it to look at it? It's all over TikTok. I think it's from the Kardashians. Like, I know I can't eat this, but how nice is it to smell it? Okay, this is such a cool palette, and honestly, the packaging alone is so beautiful. I don't know if I'm gonna use this again though. I don't know. The packaging is too good. I might hang on to it. I know this is so bad, but I might hang on to it for just a little longer. I just, you know, just in case I have regret. So next time I do a declutter, I'll have more of a solid opinion on if I've used it or not. But some of these, like, I truly don't remember having, so it's kind of hard. These Marc Jacobs eyeshadow palette, oh my goodness, they don't make this anymore, but I still want to keep them, so I'm gonna archive these because I just love the packaging. I just think it's really pretty and inspiring, so I'm gonna keep those. Oh my gosh, remember this Anastasia's Subculture palette? Oh, this is definitely very old. I'm gonna get rid of this one. I wonder if they have this. Maybe I'll revisit it sometime if they still sell it. That could be fun, but I definitely don't need to keep my original. We're gonna declutter that one. Let's see, what else do we have? The Buxom and Ash K Home palette. This is a new-ish palette. I honestly didn't get very much use out of it, and I don't think they make it anymore. Maybe I should check. Anyway, I don't think I'm gonna keep it though, so I'm gonna put it in the go pile for now, and I'll check to see if they make it. Still, we'll revisit it. Oh my gosh, you guys, the Tartist Pro palette. I'm keeping this one, but I'm not using it anymore. Oh, even the smell. Oh my gosh, this is a palette that inspired me. Again, this is a palette that, like, in the beginning of my YouTube career really was just something that I cherished, loved, used every day. So I don't want to get rid of this one because it has really, really amazing memories and good vibes attached to it. But I don't need to have it in my drawer at all. We've got an Hourglass eyeshadow palette. I, like, literally don't even think I've used this before. I'm gonna keep it, but I forgot I even had that. The Smashbox Cover Star palettes. Oh my gosh, look at this one. I always had the intention of using this, but I never did. This is the Pinks and Palms palette. I never ever used it. Darn it. So I'm gonna get rid of it. Oh my gosh, the Pure and Raw Beauty Christie collab. You guys remember this one? So this is, it's not that old, but this has like one side that's neutrals and then you flip it over and then the other side is colors. It's really fun. Honestly, I don't dip into this very much. It's so hard with limited edition things, you know? I have a hard time like using them up. Maybe I should. I am going to keep it because I honestly forgot that I had it. I am going to also declutter the Bare Minerals Neutral eyeshadow palette. I don't know if they make those anymore. I just haven't used them in so long. I really don't get any use out of the Fenty Beauty eyeshadow palettes. They're so pretty, they're really fun, but I really don't get enough use out of them, so maybe one of my family members or friends would enjoy these more than I have. So I'm gonna declutter all of these. I haven't even dipped into some of them. Just don't use them. This is another Juvia's Place palette, which I like to keep in drugstore just because it's on that side of Ulta, so that's how I kind of organize things. The Urban Decay Naked palette, you guys, oh my gosh. This is like the original one too. I definitely don't need to keep this in my drawer, but I am gonna archive it, so that's gonna go in a different pile. The Urban Decay Ultraviolet palette. Honestly, like, this is such a fun one. I have not gotten as much use out of this as I would have liked to, but I still love packaging, so I might like display this or decorate with it. I'm gonna keep it. Oh my word, this is like an old palette from Kylie Cosmetics. This is one that I asked for Christmas. My husband got me this. It's so cute. It's a really good palette. Like, look at the colors. It's so nice. I really do like the layout of it. I definitely don't need to keep it. Part of me wants to archive it though. I don't know why. Maybe because it's a gift from my husband. We're gonna put it in the archive pile for now. Okay, so we've got some more Nabla Cutie palettes, which I'm gonna keep them because I really do love Nabla eyeshadows, period. Like, I just really do. So we had, that was the Platinum palette, so pretty. We've got the Coral palette, which is also stunning. Also the Wild Berry palette, which is a pretty one. I don't even know what this one's called. It's just palette number 1. This one's nice. It's got like a really nice nude kind of color story. It's really pretty. And then lastly for part 1, because I feel like we're gonna need to split this up, and I could probably keep going, but then it would be just the longest video of all time. The Nabla Soul Blooming palette. Again, I love Nabla palettes. I don't even know if they have this anymore, but I love this one. Even if I don't dip into it all the time, I still want to keep it for a little longer. That was part 1 of my eyeshadow declutter. Okay, so here's what we've got so far. Here's what's staying. And here's what's going. Not a very big go pile, but it's fine. And then also we've got this right here, which is my archive pile. So a lot that I'm keeping, but I told you guys in the beginning, I love eyeshadow palettes, and so many of these are like ride or die favorites. So we'll see if the other drawers that I have left have a little bit more to get rid of, but so far this is what we're working with. All right, so thanks for watching part 1 of my eyeshadow declutter. I hope you enjoyed going down memory lane with some of these palettes. Let me know in the comments down below if there were any palettes that just were like, oh my gosh, I remember having that, or any of them that you really were interested in, or I don't know. I just want to hear from you guys. So let me know in the comments if there's any palettes that brought back some good memories for you, like Subculture maybe, or any of them really. Just let me know in the comments if you have any of these palettes and how you feel about them, or if there's any that I have and love that are some of your favorites. I would love to hear in the comments down below. And yeah, we will continue in our next episode. So I'll see you guys then, but in the meantime, I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are. If you want to see other declutter videos before part 2 of the eyeshadow palettes, I'll have the playlist down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!